Hello, hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your November reading. I'm Madeleine, if we haven't met before. Happy solar return. Happy birthday to my November Sagittarians. Very excited for you. How you feeling coming off that Taurus lunar eclipse? If you're a Sag rising, that was in your house of health, habits, routines, the body. Curious if you had any big revelations or completions or projects around that. Maybe some workflow revelations. It's like what I'm hearing right now. So that's interesting. Okay. Spirit's clearly ready to talk. So, first, we will get into the story of your month. Wow. And where you are in that story, how you're showing up. And to cap off the reading, we will pull a couple of cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to get a little guidance from Spirit. So, Sagittarius, in the month of November, coming up on that solar return time for my November Sagittarians. And for my December Sagittarians, y'all have even more time to ponder the following. As we come up to your solar return, the sun will be passing through the house of endings, unfinished business. Again, if you're a Sagittarius rising, if you don't know your chart, there are tons of places to do free birth charts. I'll put one in the description box so you can find out your rising, your moon, etc. if you only know your sun sign. So if you are a Sagittarius rising, that sun will pass through that house of endings before it rides into your first house of self on your solar return. And for all Sagittarians, regardless of your rising sign, this points to, as we head into our personal new year, which is what you can think of your solar return or your birthday as, what are my resolutions? Not like, oh, I want to fucking read 15 books a year or I want to lose blah, 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 blah. Like, no. I'm talking about what do I want to enjoy more of, experience more of by the time my next birthday rolls around? And what things would I put into place to make that happen? Sixth house, lunar eclipse, workflow, habitual revelations. What are the little steps that take me to the big, sexy goal that I have in mind? And let me go ahead and start putting those fundamental cornerstones into place. Okay, all right. Pull some cards. Spirit has a lot to say. Clearly. Okay. So Sagittarius in November, Spirit. We want to know what themes are coming up for Sagittarius and anything that they need to know. Anything they need to know about how they show up, what is a good idea for them to embody, anything they need to know pertinent from the past as it pertains to the present and the unfolding future. How is the future looking based on those past and present decisions at this time, Spirit? What do you want to share with Sagittarius for their highest good, to help them on toward peace, contentment, fulfillment, joy, fun, growth in the month of November for Sagittarius? The month of November. So Spirit is bringing up the fact that Sagittarians are, one of the marks of a Sagittarius is that they still retain some of their wildness, and that's how Spirit is putting it. Their wildness meaning they trust their instincts. They move with joy. They move like, what I mean is, like, if there's joy there, I move there. If there's energy there, I go there. And so if you've been feeling any kind of lack of energy or any kind of stagnancy, if you're one of those Sagittarians, follow your joy. It doesn't matter how silly or how seemingly inconsequential or whatever it is. Move toward your curiosity and your joy. That's your natural state. So, Spirit is just saying that. It's a great time to remind you, Sagittarius. These are general readings, so I get a whole bunch of messages for different Sagittarians that are going to tune in for this. What resonates with you, take it, use it, love it. What doesn't, don't worry about it. It's for some other Sagittarius. And I'm an intuitive reader, so Spirit talks, I relay the messages. The cards do a lot, but as you can see, I haven't even seen any of these cards yet. We're still shuffling, so Spirit also just talks. Okay. Just in case you've never been here. Hey, we love to see it. Here you are, Sagittarius, center of your reading, the Magician. Wow, beautiful. And I will pop your cards right up here in just a second. A shame that you won't see Isis again after that, my kitty here. Ooh, I'm hearing I want it all. Spirit is wow. Hadn't even turned this over yet. I turned this over right as I said those words. Like Spirit is singing the song. I want it all and I want it now. Okay, listen, move toward curiosity, move toward fun, move away from people and things that want to burst your bubble. And I am hearing that. So it's like some of you deal with, I'm like, and this is so funny. It's not even December yet, but Spirit is like, some of y'all have a Scrooge in your life. And whether you can move away from this person, like literally, or just energetically, that's what I'm feeling, is like put some energetic distance between yourself and this person, as in don't let them dampen your spirits. That's what I'm hearing. Center of your reading, so beautiful. You, the magician, with all the things that you need at your disposal, all four elements, the wand, the cup, the sword, the pentacle. So Spirit says you have everything that you need to, crossing card, create what it is you desire. And I want to say, listen, I'm not anti focus or even anti, discipline or hard work. And I don't want you to burn out, Sagittarius. And I feel like there's the potential for burnout. Sitting in your future, you can see the Ten of Wands. You're actually, speaking of the future, you're living in a future where I haven't pulled the clarifying card for that yet. So you've actually already seen how this turns out. But I want to pull a clarifying card, Spirit. This Ten of Wands, what's on the other side? Is it worth carrying all these wands? Listen. Okay, I need one more, please. I do see a breakthrough. Hey, okay then. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, you can already see this. What a great future. All right. So the Magician and the Empress, what do these two people have in common? They trust their instincts. When I said that Spirit likes to speak through intuitive messaging just as well as they like to speak through the cards for me, like there it is. Spirit again saying, trust your instincts. They will lead you in the right direction. You already have all of the things you need. There's nothing wrong with going off and acquiring a new skill or whatever, but I really don't feel like you need to at this moment. I feel like remix that shit. Whatever it is that you have at your disposal. I have this skill, I have this talent, I have this charisma, I have this like emotional resonance. And when I arrange these in a different way, what do I get? A lot of creativity that these two have in common as well. Creation is their whole thing. And the Magician is number 1, the Empress is number 3. So you could think of the Magician as, this version of the card, it's she, and she holds her wand up high. The wand penetrates, right? So the Magician is kind of like the conception. Then there's the in-between card. Magician number 1, Empress number 3. What's number 2? High Priestess. Quiet. Silence. Liminal space. It's like the time when you don't even know that the conception has necessarily taken place. Meaning, like if you were to look at a woman who had just recently, in the last week, had the sex that had conceived a child that was beginning to like take root inside of her, right? You wouldn't know. You would look and she would look the same as she had ever looked, but you would never know this amazing thing was starting to coalesce, right? That's the High Priestess. Now the Empress is showing. Her abundance, her creation is showing. It is on the verge, actually, of coming to life, because the Empress is that which brings things to life. So the conception and the birth right here. And let me just take this moment to say, especially because this Four of Wands is sitting in the kind of basement or unseen support position. If you don't want a baby, take precautions, because Four of Wands is engagement, wedding, happiness, joy, reunion of coming together of couples. And then between that whole conception and birth and all that, I'm just saying, wrap it up. Wrap it up if you don't want to be. And on the other side, if that's not on your mind or on the docket at all, it's like, what is the brainchild that is being born? What is the great idea that you have that you desire to take all the way? And I do see you taking something a long, long way, especially if you consciously divest from carrying whatever it is that the Scrooge-ish person wants you to carry. Like doing too much. Don't do too much. Ten of Wands is like a warning for that, right? Like on the good side, it is you have, again, you have everything that you need, but do you need to carry it all at once? No. You have all these wonderful ideas. Do you need to execute on all of them at once? No. Ace of Swords says, let's get some clarity. It's getting a little hot in here. Ten of Wands, like overheated, like burnout. And the swords are like a chill gust wind saying, what if we blew all this out? What do we really need? We need to lighten our load. We will get where we're trying to go a lot faster if we clear the fucking decks. And that's what I'm hearing, Sagittarius. You might have, again, a lot of great ideas or a lot of plans sitting in the past. The world, you've already been wonderful places. The world shows up like graduations, literal or figurative, like epiphanies, like full circle, like, wow, we really came all the way full circle. And that's really kind of the meaning that Spirit is emphasizing right now. And full circle means completion and beginning, initiation. You know, everything is a cycle on this planet. So things kind of almost in a way never end or begin. They are always happening, they are always in motion. But there is this sense of new level. And you know what they say, new level, new devil. Maybe for some of you, I feel like the Scrooge person might think you're a little big for your britches, and like that's their problem, not yours. So don't take that on. I don't think I need to belabor that point with Sagittarians. Y'all be fiery. But if this person tries to subtly or unsubtly put like a damper on you, that's like a great sign to just distance. And this is what Spirit is saying, is like, for some of you, this is like a family member or someone that you can't necessarily or don't want to necessarily like sever out of your life or like cut out. We're not talking like you need to sever if that's not what you want. You can still put energetic and physical distance between yourself and that person and put up boundaries that keep you safe from, I'm hearing, like running into the same old arguments. And that's not very Sagittarian, and I feel like that's why they opened the reading with like, if any of you are feeling stagnant or hemmed in or any of that shit, like, there's nothing wrong with you and there's a way out. And I feel like it's about trusting yourself. I don't mean that you're doing it alone, definitely not, because in the energy around and available to you, Two of Cups, there is a two-way street. There is an energy exchange that is possible. And just above that, in the potential position, Three of Cups, friendship, cheers, celebration, an echo of the Four of Wands inside of you. Spirit, wow, this just got deep. Okay, so Spirit just brought up the phrase internal family systems. I'm just the messenger. Spirit is saying they want you to reflect on this, for those of you for whom it resonates that there is like a Scrooge or a person who like puts a damper on your spirits or things like that. It's like, who does this person rhyme with from your past? Where have you played out this dynamic before? And maybe it's been multiple times, and like, check that. Is it? Where? Why? How interesting. This is coming up for me again. Why? What for? What is it meant to teach me? Because it's definitely not meant to screw you over. It's meant to be friction that helps you gain traction in going toward what you want. We need the white and the dark horse, or in this case, Sphinx, to get all the way to the victory that we crave. The chariot is about reaching victory, not just by overcoming obstacles, not in spite of, but actually because of. You're trying to stop me. That's going to help me get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in the case of the white and the dark horse, my fears and my doubts, if they are properly marshaled, can propel me forward just as well and quickly as my hopes and desires, my conscious, my unconscious, my bright and light and happy thoughts, and my dark and fearful and perhaps hidden thoughts. I need both of them. They all need to be embraced. So, spirit, internal family systems, asking where you've played out certain dynamics, how you would like to behave in this moment that is different from how you have perhaps behaved in other iterations. It's like I'm older, I'm wiser, and now I think I'm going to try something a little different than the last time. There's a lot of learning happening in the month of November, and it makes sense. I mean, we're running up to your freaking solar return. Also, of course, Three of Cups and Four of Wands, birthday parties. What am I talking about? Of course, lots of y'all will be having wonderful parties and reunions with people that you love. Perhaps even getting a nice, a new kiss or a new crush. It is not the sun, but it's damn close. The star. Why do I say it's not the sun? Because the sun would say, you know everything, you can see every step, you can see every block, you can see everything. The star is, we need you to go on faith. We need you to move toward what feels true and authentic and good in the seat of your soul, okay? And your body is the channel that holds the seat of your soul. So if it feels good in your body, then it probably feels good to your soul. And if it feels a little weird or a little icky or a little constricted in your body, then it probably feels a little weird or icky or constricted in your soul. If there are people who cannot stand your vulnerability or your sweetness or your optimism, and they feel like they have to rush in and correct it or debate it or amend it, don't put on armor. Let this person blow their hot air, because that's all they're going to do. Okay? Let them blow their hot air. Yes, honey, whatever you say, and then continue to do your own thing. You take care of yourself. You stay yourself. Don't arm yourself against anyone or anything. I do feel that there is the lure of a losing battle. Like, who doesn't want to fire back at this? Anybody. You know what I mean? Like, the most zen of us, there are certain things or certain people that could get under our skin, right? So there's nothing wrong with you for having that desire, that urge, or that impulse. And it does feel like it's an impulse and it's better left unheeded. That's why I say, okay, yeah, whatever you say. Listen, I'm not giving up all this abundance for an hour and a half bullshit conversation with Scrooge. For what? I have so much wonderful energy to use and to share today. Why would I waste it on that? Let me go do that. Let me pour into myself and out of myself and watch how the universe pours back into me. Watch how the universe pours back into me. Nine of Pentacles sitting right next to the Five of Swords in that key position. So it's like, okay, well, if you are not going to be if you're not going to help me, well, then I'm going to go ahead and get fulfilled on my own, which is what the Nine of Pentacles represents, is finding contentment, joy, a sense of like, wow, I really did that. And being able to just sit in that peace and that self-appreciation. I feel like you are able to bring something really important to fruition or to completion this month. And the people who love you and who are meant to be with you are going to be coming out of the woodwork. Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Four of Wands. And the people who try to deflate you are going to be more easily brushed aside. Speak your piece And Spirit is being a little bit punny when they say it because they're saying speak your piece. Yes, they do mean speak your piece, tell your truth, say what it is that you need to say, cut through the bullshit and say the truth, but they also mean speak your piece as in Peace. Like, we're not speaking our piece in order to create an argument. We're speaking our piece because we want to be in alignment with ourselves. Okay. Now, let's pull those star codes for you. Spirit, we want some insight into how Sagittarius can be supported in this massive, beautiful creation, this process of creation that they're doing. What do you want them to know? How can they be assisted in November? Wow. Well, what do we say? The lunar eclipse just happened in your 6th house, the house of health, habits, routines. The key word on this version of the card is sustainability. So, we talked about there's something with a lot of potential for burnout. Do you need to do it all yourself? Is that actually sustainable? Is that kind to your body? Or is that a place where you need to kind of cut through? And now Spirit is drawing my attention to the 7 flames dancing around the 8 flames dancing around the Ace of Swords. It's like the difference between the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands indicates speed and clarity and communication, and that's just dropping 2 wands. It's just saying, okay, you know what? All 10 of these things cannot be a priority if I want to get any one of them done in the next 3 or 6 or whatever weeks or months or etc. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me be really honest with myself. What is sustainable? What feels good again in my body? You're bringing up your body and your instincts a lot in this reading. And your other card is transits, the climate. Is the climate of your life sustainable? Or is it a little too hot? Is it a little too cold? What do you need to shift so that the climate in your life can be more sustainable? Transits are about shifting and change. So the climate will be able to shift if you make sustainability your first priority. As in, I am the one, I am the singularity. If I burn out, then all of the creation or all of the motion or the energy stops. You know what I'm saying? So I got to look out for number 1 and number 3. How's that feel, Sagittarius? What you feeling? You got any questions, comments, stories? Do any of you know what this is? Like, do you have a big project that you're trying to bring to fruition that needs a little bit of pruning to get there? Very curious as to what's coming up for you. If you ever want a personal reading, you can do that on my website, and all the info is in the description box below as well. I appreciate you, Sagittarius. I hope this serves you well, and I hope I also will see you in next week's reading. Bye-bye.